Welcome back to Mad Brad's Customs, where things get done.
All right, this is what we're doing. The directions for this bumper calls for scuff pad, fine, and all you got to do is just one-way stroke it all over, make sure that you cover everything, and of course clean it up, blow it off, and then we're going to seal it and shoot it all at one time. Not hard to do, but it is got primer on it. They sure don't look like they do, but yeah, it is primer, you can see. Any imperfections you could fix right now, but this thing was bubble wrapped, rolled up, it came out unrolled, and the only little imperfection was on the very bottom, which will be underneath the car, and that's where I accidentally rolled it across the driveway, or slid it, that is, by mistake, just a little bit. But that was able to be sanded right off and smoothed out. No big a deal. I've already went over it once. I'm just hitting it all again, just to make sure. And if anybody out there is trying to get into the painting of car worlds, I painted my first car, which was a 65 Plymouth Valiant, two-door hypo car. And that car actually had a solid lift from the factory, solid lift 273 hypo motor in it, 4-barrel, and thanks to an old woman that could not see how to drive correctly, she hit me making a U-turn and slammed me into two big blue metal post office box and around a telephone pole. That's how hard she made that U-turn. Of course, I believe she was in a baby blue town car, Lincoln town car. But anyway, of course, my buddy, still my friend to this day, Carl White, he was riding with me. It seemed like Carl, every time Carl was riding with me, accidents occurred. Nah, I'm not blaming Carl, because that was not our fault. But anyway, so after that car, I got a 66 Barracuda with the same motor in it, and it was yellow, and we painted it Richard Petty blue. So once I painted that car Richard Petty blue, my father's exterminating company, which had about, at the time, 20-some vehicles, he decided he wanted to paint all the vehicles that color. So I was like 15, 16, 17, no, probably 16. Because I only had my daytime driver's license at that time, so I think I was 15. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I ended up painting his whole fleet Richard Petty blue. So, the biggest thing I can tell you about painting, I painted tractor trailer rigs, I painted tractor trailers, I painted big, gigantic moving trucks. I was a fleet manager for a very large linen company, and we had to repaint that whole fleet a couple of times. So I was painting big rigs. But the biggest thing I can tell you about painting, if you can't keep your hands off of the product, wear gloves. Make sure you don't touch it. You can use a sandpaper or sanding pad, just make sure you keep your greasy hands off of it. And if you think you're getting your greasy hands on it, the best thing you can do, make sure you clean it with some lacquer thinner or something real good before you even think about a primer, surfacer, or any of that. All right. All right, here we go. Sealer coat. Across your paper.
All right, time to put paint on. Here we go. We'll let that tack up. We'll let that tack up and then we'll go with some more. Be right back. Okay, this is just a one stage, one shot bumper paint. So all I'm gonna do now is open the pattern and blend it so it doesn't have any metal flake splotches. All right, here we go. Looking good. Oh yeah. Hear me sticking to the floor? All right, now we let her dry.